Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. If I seem a little weary, maybe the voice is a little weak, certainly my ears are ringing, I can't hear a damn thing, it's because it was my birthday yesterday and I went to a gig, a little place called The Dome in Tufnell Park in London. Great little venue actually. Saw a very, very loud band, so I ain't been to bed yet. But anyway, what did I do when I came home? Because I wasn't looking at following any boxing, weren't looking at any sites yesterday. I had other things to do, like I say. And I get home, I've only been home for about an hour. And I thought, I'll have a look before I go to bed. I'll have a look and see if there's any real news. And what did I see? I saw what I think is pretty solid evidence that someone is trying to kill DEREK Chisora. Because on Saturday, July the 27th, DEREK, all 40 years old of him, all 300,000 or 350,000 miles on the odometer, DEREK Chisora, he's going to be taking on Joe Joyce in a Queensbury promotion. Now, okay. Like I say, Derek's 40. How old's Joe now? 38, 39, whatever. I mean, but there's a wealth of difference. There's a wealth of punishment difference between these two guys. And I remember Derek early on in his career, when he was, he beat Danny Williams for the British title, knocked him out in a couple of rounds. Danny was shot then. I mean, this was 15 years, well, more than 15 years ago, whatever it was. And then Danny retired and came back to lose another 25 fights or whatever it is, picking up paychecks even now at the age of 50. And Derek was fighting, I think he fought Sam Sexton twice in the Commonwealth title, was it? And Tyson Fury fought him when they were both undefeated. And I remember thinking, this guy, he's quite entertaining, but he's not going to have a long career because he's defensively, he's not brilliant, to put it mildly. He does take punishment, and it's just his style. He's got this come-forward pressure style that doesn't normally make for a very long career. And here he is at 40, having fought Tyson Fury 3 times. 2 of those were hideous beatings, as we know. One of them, the third one, was a disgusting, cynical cash grab, endangering that particular man's life, in my opinion. He's fought Alexander Usyk. We know what happened to him lately. He fought Joseph Parker twice. He's fought Kubrat Pulev twice. He's fought, well, it's probably his best win, actually, was over Takam. His last fight was against Gerald Washington. That was a win. He's fought Dillian White twice and got knocked out on one occasion. He fought David Haye and got knocked out by him. That was years ago. So the only thing I can say that, and this isn't really an excuse for putting him in with a 19-stone clubbing monster like Joe Joyce, regardless of the 2 Zhilei Zhang fights, at this point of their respective careers, to DEREK Chisora, Joe Joyce amounts to a monster. The only kind thing I can say is that probably Derek is long past the point where he's salvageable neurologically. If he's going to have problems later on in life, quitting now probably won't make a lot of difference. If he has one more fight against Joe and he takes yet another beating. But the style is completely wrong for Derek. Completely wrong. I mean, how do you think this fight's going to go? Both men will come forward. Derek will trundle forward, doing his, rock'em sock'em crash'em sort of routine. Lots of overhand rights, a few lefts to the body. He'll take punishment, probably take 2 or 3 to land 1 or 2. Joe will come forward and be the same. Derek won't have any problem landing on him. Unless Joe's chin really has deteriorated following those 2 Zhang stoppages, especially the second one, which was a clean knockout. I don't think Derek's never been a one-punch banger. He probably won't be able to put a dent in Joe's chin, like I say, unless he really has unravelled. And what will happen is we'll have a grinding, grueling 10-rounder. I presume it's going to be a 10-rounder unless they put some stupid belt on the line and prolong the inevitable. And even though Joe looked pretty lousy against Cash Ali, got him out of there in the 10th round, but Cash Ali's certainly no better than a domestic level fighter. Bear in mind that Joe, before the two Zhang fights, was knocking out Joseph Parker, and look what he's done since. It's amazing. How fortunes change, how careers get flipped on their heads. It's extraordinary, but, you know, I just see this as being an ugly, really ugly fight, one that you're going to watch through your fingers. And I know that people are going to say, you know, the libertarians amongst us are going to say, well, you know, who are we to say Derek can't fight on? Oh, who indeed? Has he not made enough money? And I also think it's a shame because his last fight against Washington, even though he looked worn out, he looked kind of low on energy, he looked like he was going through the motions, but Washington was never a great heavyweight and probably had less ambition left than Derek. But it would have been a nice way for him to go out, especially as if you remember, he was dressed up in Barbie pink because his daughters were there. They're fans of the film, I think. And they walked with him to the ring, and it would have been a nice way to go out. It had the air of, you know, this is the time to leave. This is the time to go out. And what else does Derek have to prove anyway? I mean, he's made millions. Can you ever have too much money? I mean, how much has he got? All those pay-per-views he was part of. He's never sold himself short financially. His record is very impressive one, 34 wins, 13 defeats, but look at all the people he's faced. I mean, Ajit Kabayel, did I mention him before? Look at what he's done recently. Derek went the distance with him. So many, I mean, it's a who's who of the heavyweight division. Derek Chisora is an absolute warrior. So no two ways about it. And, you know, why is he carrying on? I just don't understand it. I guess it's just impossible to say goodbye for some people. I guess maybe he thinks boxing defines him. He loves the limelight. It gives him a reason in life. Personally, I'd have thought having a missus and kids would have given you enough reason. And it's all very well saying, you know, yeah, I got to put food on the table and all this bollocks. You know, come on, man, you've made millions of quid already. And you know what? You can make another 100 million. Ain't a lot of use to if you can't count it. Preserve a few brain cells. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. 27th of July, just over 2 months' time, it's going to happen. And horrible fight, I think. Will I watch it? Probably watch it free, of course, and pay for it. Yeah. Fighters are always the last to know when it's time to say goodbye, I guess. Can you imagine if he beat Joyce? He'd probably be, yeah, I've got another 10 years left in me. Anyway, what do you think of this? Do you share my cynicism? Is it cynicism? I'm not convinced it is. Do you share my concern for Derek? Do you not care? Do you just want to see a good fight? Do you think that the style matchup will make for a good fight? I imagine it would, for as long as it lasts. Who do you think will win? Do you think Derek can win? I don't know. Any comments you got, leave them below. And yeah, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the like button if you don't mind, because it always helps spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. I appreciate your time. Looking forward to reading your comments, and bye-bye for now.